Your own way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there room for subtlety in your work? Because it seems very, very, like, your performance is very big.
I'm always recreating, and I think Smells Like Children's more subtle than our first record. You know, people were expecting something very shocking, and for me, something shocking was to do a cover of Sweet Dreams, because it's not what anyone would have wanted me to do. And I think with our new record that we're working on now, it's subtle in more ways, but the message is more powerful, maybe less offensive on the surface.
What do you think the message is? If there is one that you could...
Everybody's going to pick their own, but I think I like to tell people the way I see the world, and if they can learn something from it, then that makes a difference. But I think the bottom line would be to be what you want to be, and don't try and fit into something that everyone else wants you to be. You know, the world is as much as you want to make it. You know, and if you want to make it your way, that's the way you should make it.
Are you ever aggravated at misinterpretations of your work?
No, because you know, confusion is also a great form of communication. So at least if they're talking about it, that's important.
Trent Reznor produced the album, and also Vancouver's David Ogilvy did some remixes. He did a lot of work with Skinny Puppy.
Yeah.
Are you a big fan of Skinny Puppy? Or what are your musical favorites?
The stuff I'm listening to now, I went to the Pulp show last night.
Oh, you did?
Which most people didn't expect. But I kind of liked it. It wasn't so bad.
Yeah. Alice Cooper?
Yeah, Stooges, Ziggy Stardust, Black Sabbath.
And all the people that you cover, their material.
Yeah.
Like Screaming Jay and Patti Smith.
Yes, definitely.
And, you know, it's really, it's neat sitting here talking to you, because I was expecting somebody that was way more sort of in your space, and you're very sort of, very grounded and well-spoken.
There's a time and a place for everything, I think.
Yeah.
You need to communicate in different ways at different circumstances, and you know, I don't think it would be appropriate for me to throw around stools and break things right now.
And you've had a lot of influence over your fans, over the way they dress and so forth, and you're really looking, you have a different attire today, nice suit. Is it a different, are you going in a different direction, image-wise?
Well, I just wouldn't want to be predictable.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you have the band has a real sort of androgynous quality. It seems like they're very in touch with both female and male sides.
Yeah, I think it's part of getting across the point of Marilyn Manson and the dichotomy and of that extreme positive and extreme negative that can go into, you know, sexual imagery also. I think it's too boring to have things spelled out plainly. I think the more options you have, the more exciting life can be for you overall.
And more possibilities.
Sure.
Yeah. Your album, you have a lot of different soundscapes throughout the album, and in particular, the one that really had me listening was May Cause Discoloration of the Urine or Feces. And that was basically a conversation, a telephone conversation between two people, mother and a daughter, about the prescription drugs that the mother should take.
Right.
Where did you get that? And
that's my family.
Is it your family?
Yeah.
Is it your grandma and your mom?
Yeah, because Smells Like Children, for me, it was a study of abuse of all sorts, you know, dealing with the abuse that I, you know, experienced as a kid, the abuse that I see, the abuse that I give, the abuse in relationships, the abuse of drugs, just everything in general. And that was one thing that I thought also added another dimension to, you know, where I come from. That's what my family's like. So I thought, you know, that might make people understand.
Yeah. So where did you come from? What was your family? Is it
my family is very strange because my parents are still married.
Oh yeah, that is strange.
Other than that, I think I had a pretty normal household in Ohio. I grew up, and it was very Midwestern. So those are the type of values that I was taught.
Do you think your grandmother's for the better with all the drugs, the prescription drugs that are coursing through with her system, or do you?
No.
No.
She just doesn't seem like the same person to me. So, you know, and you know, that helps me to evaluate myself when I think about the things that I do in my life and stuff. You know, because I can go from times where you know, I'll experiment with anything, and then I go over times like today where I feel completely grounded. And sometimes, you know, when your whole life is so chaotic, when it's in control, it's sometimes more interesting than when it's chaotic. Like a lot of people will say, you know, when they've been doing drugs all their life, if they're sober, they feel more screwed up than they were when they were on drugs. The same thing kind of applies.